93. This is Channel Dad Brian Lape. I finally going to use it on this here podcast. We're up into 2 years on this thing. We're actually in the third year. We started before the Fandom Menace, and now I'm the only one left. But joining me tonight for episode 93, MJ.
Yo. Hate it or love it, the underdog's on top, and I'm going to shine, homie, until my heart stops. Go ahead, envy me. I'm the place to be, reviews MVP, and I ain't going nowhere, so get to know me.
2 hours later.
Yay.
Awesome. All right. That man interrupting first. Happened,
It's me. That's all I got to say.
All right.
I like to keep it a minimum.
So Groovinator, bring it on up.
What's up, people of Earth? It's Groovinator, the cynical cyborg, and I like women like I like my music. Independent, industrial, and in the dark.
Oh. It's not where I thought you were going to go with that. That's kind of different.
I'm trying.
And last but certainly not least, the long-winded one himself, Etep of Place for You Reviews.
Too sweet to be sour, too nice to be mean. Head shaved fresh like Mr. Clean. All my exes live in Texas. That's why I hang my head in Tennessee. But if you look, you still can't see me. It's me. It's Etep in the place to be. Good evening, Fan Caste. Channel Dad.
Channel. Hey. Well, we had quite a bit of news. So before we get started on some of that, everybody okay this evening?
Always.
Absolutely.
Yeah, my wife made it back from visiting her parents yesterday, and so she's out mowing the yard.
Was there any doubt?
All right.
Well, I get I've been allergic to cut grass for a long time, but it's her therapy. So if I cut it and she's around, she gets all upset. Where's the echo coming from?
Not I.
I'm not sure.
It's probably tap.
Hang on. Hold on.
Tap.
Is it me?
Bobby.
No.
Is it gone now? Ah, I can still hear it.
Yeah, if he mutes and we talk and there's no echo, then we know it's him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. There you go.
Okay, good. It's not me.
And that's how they became the Fan Caste bunch.
Yeah, I'm really liking this here StreamYard thing. And if you want to help us out, want us to go full on this, we're going to need some more subscribers.
Donate to the Patreon.
Like about 200,000 more.
Yeah.
Smash the like button. Depress
Smash the
that
melee
subscribe button.
Yeah.
Bitch, slap that like button. That's my new thing. I started doing that. I was like, hey, whatever. I got to do something. Got to have a hook. So bitch, slap the like button. I'll help you if you need help with the baby powder.
Right. David Applegate is here. I didn't have. I forgot to have. This is so easy to do that it's so quick to set it up that I forget to go open in another browser so I can see what's going on. Although I thought I could see who's. No, there we go. I can look at the comments right there. Keep forgetting it's all integrated.
The only thing that's unfortunate is you can see the comments, but we can't. That's the only unfortunate part.
Yeah, because I own it.
Yeah.
So let's try something. Can I put a banner? Or do I have to have the full? This is an example.
There you go.
Something just flashed on my end.
Yeah,
What
but
are
I
you doing?
can't. But I can't create one. Or maybe I can.
See an orange bar.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see an orange bar? That's it?
John,
Yeah.
That's all I see.
Oh, sorry.
All right.
Yep, I see. There's an orange
It
bar.
says Orange Man Bad on it.
No. This
Well,
is only a test. Please.
If I do that.
Yeah,
Oh,
there
that's
we go.
not what. Oh, you stupid.
Obi Wan.
Huh?
That's what it says. Obi Wan.
I know that's autocorrect. So now if I do this.
Obi-
Obi Wan to smack that ass.
Obi-Wan, smack that ass all
No,
on the floor.
it does go right across Groovinator there in his.
Yep.
So if I do this, you can see him.
There you go.
Got him off guard. I don't. So I can do this. So am I large and everybody else is small, or do you guys see yourself in the middle?
That's,
No, I'm over
I'm
to
not
the
mature
side.
enough
Well, on
to
the
answer
side.
this.
I know. I'm surprised Pete is in there.
I'm over
Yeah.
there. Ooh, look at this. Tonight on Hollywood Square.
Yeah, who's in the middle square?
He's a former professional wrestler and DJ and a loudmouth windbag. He is Etep.
So what's the difference between that one and this one?
Ah! Oh, sorry.
One is the
What
sensitive one.
What happened to the? Is it because I have a banner? Oh, it is.
David Banner?
See,
Bruce
the
Banner?
banner names
Oh.
here. I wonder if that's because we're not on the full version.
So
Anyway,
right now, Brian is playing with himself. I mean, playing with the
I
thing.
I'm trying to be like the Big Show. So we started by copying the Big Show, and now we're going to do it again.
Well, it's the big show.
Yeah. So here we have the
Big
first
bad
topic up
show
tonight.
tonight.
So are you guys ready and got to get your $15 a month or whatever the heck it is to get your Disney Plus so that you guys can watch the Obi Wan series that might happen or might not happen?
I'm dying. I can't
it's
wait.
Not happening, man. I want to be optimistic because I like Ewan McGregor. I do. I like him a lot. He's done a lot for the prequels. He was the only one trying in movies that really nobody else was trying in, or even if they were, that was really the best that they could do. But I just feel like Disney's going to find some way to muck it up, and I hate to feel like that, but we've been led astray too many times at this point.
That's where I'm at too. Like I said, I'm a huge Ewan McGregor fan when it comes to the prequels, man. He took scenes that were otherwise unsalvageable, cringy around the other actors, and then you have his delivery and his expressions and the way he just conveys his emotion. And it was just like he took all that other stuff and just made you focus on that character. And it wasn't, to me, a lot of it was like, compared to, you look at, Anakin and Darth Vader, it's like a lot of people didn't see how, the correlation is made, but like with Alec Guinness to Ewan McGregor, I see one does the other justice, and Ewan McGregor is a perfect Obi-Wan and still can play this role for years, as far as I'm concerned, if it's done correctly, and that is a big if, considering the purple and blue haired writers room at Disney, and I have to put quotes around the words writers room when it comes to Lucasfilm Disney.
It didn't feel like he was doing
writers is a bit of a stretch.
It didn't feel like he was doing an Obi-Wan impression. It felt like he was embodying Alec Guinness. I never really thought of him as Ewan McGregor playing Obi-Wan Kenobi. I thought he's Obi-Wan Kenobi.
He is.
And being right down to the mannerisms, the way he used to scratch his beard and stuff like that, even towards Revenge of the Sith, you could totally see Alec Guinness in that character, and that's what you would want from something like that. He was probably doing it when he wasn't even told by Lucas to, hey, act more like Alec Guinness. He's probably like, no, I want these things to line up, and they did. So.
And it's funny that one of his most famous lines, the hello there, is just a nod to Alec Guinness with, the scene with R2 when he comes out from behind the rock. And that has got to be like the most famous GIF or meme that has come out of the prequels. Is that one right there? Is the hello there with
that?
Obi-Wan.
And I have the high ground.
Yes, that and the high ground. But like the best memes from the prequels are all Obi-Wan memes. And I love memes, and I would say that they're got to be hands down the Obi-Wan memes. But this series, like I said, I see a lot of potential here, especially if they focus on and they can tie Darth Maul into this. If you really think about it, there's around 5 to 7 years of untapped material from the end of Solo to where it would tie into the movies. So, and I hate to use Solo for a basis for anything, but that time right there gives us time to set Obi-Wan up for his fateful duel with Darth Maul, where it would end in Rebels in canon, because Obi-Wan killed Maul in Rebels. So that gives you a lot of material if they want to do, because they're probably going to slate for about 8 episodes, which is what most of these series are looking like. They're shaping up to be 6 to 8 episodes. So if the first treatment goes over well, that they can move forward.
Are you sure?
I don't know.
It ain't gonna happen because Disney's gonna fuck it up. That's all I got to say on that part. They haven't been doing one out of how many?
But it's like, how many more times, man? How many times can you be like, oh, really? They're just gonna find some way to.
Like, just stop. Just stop. That's what I'd be like.
Yeah.
P could do a better Star Wars movie.
Oh, trust me, I could. I've reenacted better Star Wars movies with my action figures.
But then again, if he has his own series and he was he did all that without direction, then he could carry it very well by himself. It might be, you know, I'm glad that Jon Favreau is directing at least one of them. But then again, Jon Favreau is also the guy that directed the shot-by-shot Lion King remake. So you have to remember that. He also did Iron Man, but he also did the Lion King remake. I'm just saying.
Which
the Jungle Book remake.
He did 2, Iron Man 2.
Which
or did he do the first one?
Which the first Iron Man.
Which Lion King remake? The Lion King or Black Panther?
Yes.
Both. Yeah.
The one that everybody calls a live action remake, even though there's no live action. Like, you count the dust that they're standing on.
Did he though?
Yeah. Did he?
He walks over and says, "Hey, good job making that mom on the computer. Keep at it."
Yeah, no, those real animals can't emote. That wouldn't go over well. Live action.
Make sure he says "Hakuna Matata" just like that. Okay.
As the boar, as one of the lions eats Pumbaa. Damn it! Well, we need another one of them hogs. Yeah, go down to the holler, get another one of them there hogs. I don't know.
We had live action movies back in the 60s and 70s, the Shaggy Dog and the Shaggy DA and several others that stop at, where they forwarded the camera back and forth, to make the dog's mouth move, to make it look like they were talking.
When you went to go see those movies, were you guys
down
did it with a
horse
smoking doobies?
No.
Inquiring minds want to know.
I wasn't old enough for that.
Doobies.
Never stopped me.
He invented doobies.
What is this old enough you speak of?
Yeah, as much as I'd like to see something like that, it would have to be in the right time period. Because I really believe that once he's on Tatooine, have him running around doing off-world adventures is against canon. Because I think his time on Tatooine was not only to watch over Luke, but prepare himself for his facing with Vader so that he would become one with the Force and phase out. And
right, and if he does anything too crazy, then people will know, well, that's the guy that did this, and that. You can't just pretend like that didn't happen,
Because that's even implied in the prequels. I think it was it 2 or 3 where
strange old hermit.
He just stayed there.
Well,
yep.
Qui Gon makes it back and talks to Yoda, and then Yoda talks to Kenobi and says, what our friend Qui Gon has made it back, and is I forget exactly what he says. Basically, gives him information about how to do that, and I think that's part of what Yoda was doing and hiding as well. They were preparing themselves for greater glory, as it were.
No, wait, I tell you how they do it. Obi-Wan has to go on an adventure, so he calls up Yoda, and Yoda stays with Luke for a few days, but he doesn't know it. That's how they do it. So they can bring the puppet back, just like they did in the last dumpster fire.
Last dumpster fire.
Yeah.
You say that now, but in a couple months, it won't be the last.
I'll be right, and I want my damn paycheck when it does happen. Motherfuckers.
So what do you think, Monica? You got an opinion on this?
No.
No.
Shocking.
What did you say? Shocking?
I said shocking.
Do you plan to see the movie at all, or?
Sure. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Are we talking
only
about
watched the first Star Wars?
Yeah, I haven't got that far. I'm working on it.
Oh.
I guess Rise of Skywalker. I don't know if I want to go see it or not. I don't have any investment.
I'm not. I'll just let Jeff and the guys do it for me.
Yeah. I haven't promised anybody on my channel that I'm going to go see it, unlike Terminator. Terminator, I'm going to see it just to tell you, everybody, if it's good or bad. If it's good, I'll walk back everything that I said about it. But if it's like the way I think it's going to be, then I'll say, well, it's pretty much what we thought it was. Moving on.
Yeah. But yeah, I have zero faith that Disney will do it right. Lucasfilm, whoever you want to blame. It's definitely in the cards to mess with George's legacy, and I think this is Kathleen Kennedy getting back at all of what she looks like
straight white males.
It hurt them stepping on her and stepping over and all this other stuff for all those years, and this is time to put them in their place.
What's your take on that whole rumor that he still has a stake in the legacy characters?
I don't know. It would help to explain why they are so hell bent on getting rid of them. Because they could have, but what I don't know if it explains them just making Han Solo and Luke Skywalker into cucks, and because it really looked like that they were trying to make the new trilogy completely about Princess Leia, right? She's going to write, well, not completely, but she's going to have her day in the sun, completely ignoring all the great things she did in the original series. They could have easily just had them in the first 10 minutes if they were just going to hand off and go on a new direction. They could have also set it 100 years in the future. So maybe there's some kind of, they come together and it's the kind of the end of times again in the first few minutes, and then you go on with the new characters. Considering how much Disney is banking on the nostalgia, if it's true, it's a huge miscalculation, because those are the only figures that sell.
Yeah.
There's
literally figures. The action figures aren't selling either. So
right.
literally the only figures that sell.
Right. So
hey, let Pete back in.
He's backstage.
I didn't know he was gone.
Pete drops.
I wonder why I was so damn quiet.
Yeah.
I got you, buddy.
I'm out
Yay,
there.
welcome to the Fence Patrol.
I was out there in the chat with the normies. I'm like, hey, help, please.
Kyle, please, Kyle.
I was trying to climb the wall and shit. I kept getting rocks thrown at me.
By LMP. He's the one throwing rocks.
It was LMP throwing rocks. He was monologuing and throwing rocks.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why, but I knew it was LMP because it was somebody dressed as Hans Moleman.
Yep.
Speaking with a Latin accent. I don't know.
Yep. Hey, he was brown at one point if in the early seasons. So everything's starting to make sense now.
It's another piece of the puzzle falls into place. So you were talking about the rumors about the Lucasfilm, Lucas getting 25% possibly.
Yeah.
It would like you said, it would all make sense that's why Disney would tank an entire IP would be to get out of paying out money, but because they have the overconfidence and the arrogance to think that they could build it all back up with these hollow characters that they've served up. And a couple of them they had opportunities to build a decent story around, but they dropped the ball on that too. Like Finn. You have a stormtrooper that you unmask. The first stormtrooper you've ever unmasked, exposed him that he has a moral crisis of conscience, of character in the heat of battle. You unmask him and he just so happens to be a black guy. Okay. So move forward with the story and develop this guy. All right, and then the last.
He happens to be a janitor too.
Yeah, and he's the janitor, but he knows everything. There was so much that they could have done with him, and there was so much bad that it.
Well, I mean, I don't think they obviously wanted the logo. They wanted the brand. Yeah. They wanted to sell the brand, but I don't think they realized how character driven Star Wars is.
They thought they could just supplant the regular original prequel trilogy characters with what that we have now, and it backfired royally. And look this is where it is. Literally store shelves full of toys that are 4, 5, 6 years old, brand new in the packaging, not being sold because nobody wants them.
And the other thing I don't think they were thinking of either is like, okay, they brought in J.J. Abrams, who I admit did a good job with Star Trek. When they did that first Star Trek movie, I liked it. Okay. And what they did is they brought back Leonard Nimoy to sign off on these new characters, but those characters weren't really new. They were just remade versions of Kirk and Spock and the original crew. So you needed the old actor to sign off on the new characters and make them look more interesting. I thought that's what they were going to do, but they kind of forgot to do that.
I haven't seen any of the new Star Trek movies. Was the first one or second one Into Darkness?
Second one was Into Darkness.
I saw part of that and I was kind of like,
No, that one's not very good. But the first one was pretty decent. It's a Star Wars movie with a Star Trek logo, but it's still, they did a nice job. I mean, the new cast had done a good enough job of playing the original crew that you totally bought them being those characters. But they brought original Spock in to basically sign off on the new characters, say, all right, well, I used to be you when I was younger and that sort of thing. And I figured they were going to do that same formula with Star Wars, and they kind of did, but they stretched it out a little bit too long. And then when they changed directors, something got lost in translation, and it never happened. And that's one thing I was saying about before with Empire Strikes Back is you put all those characters on a journey and had them move forward. You were moving forward with the story. They didn't really do that with The Last Jedi. They just kind of moved in a direction and then just kind of ended everything and didn't really leave anything on a cliffhanger.
It kind of did a bunny hop. They went sideways and went backwards 3 steps and forwards 2 steps. And it's like, we're not quite where we were at the end of The Force Awakens.
So they hijacked the logo, but they didn't really copy the business model. And that's the other thing. If they were going to do it to sell toys, why didn't they have the characters in different costumes? Why didn't they have more interesting spaceships and things that they could sell? All they did was they added a couple of new characters that nobody loves. I mean, nobody, because nobody bought those action figures, and the toys were uninteresting. There was nothing. There's probably more toys for Rogue One and the first The Force Awakens than there was for The Last Jedi. So that didn't work either. And now they're sitting on piles of Last Jedi merchandise that will never sell. It's going to wind up being buried in a desert somewhere next to E.T. and
they already
Jimmy Hoffa.
They already excavated those. Yeah. I mean, I don't.
No, Jimmy Hoffa's in Area 51. Remember, he's watching the Zack Snyder cut.
Yeah,
He's
I was
in
just going to
charge
say
of
that
51.
he is Jimmy Hoffa. Is that is one of the Place to Be reviews cinematic universe pictures. Is Area 51? Jimmy Hoffa watches the Snyder cut. That's it. The Raiders of Area 51 or something like that. I got the titles all typed out. They're all that.
Did we do that one already?
Yeah,
I've lost track. Okay.
Yep, that was on there.
Yeah, that night we did like 3. Remember?
Mm.
But
I hope you read all 3 of them down.
The part that I don't buy is Disney tanking it on purpose. I think that's complete crap.
Yeah, I can't buy that. They obviously wanted to
problem.
make money. I think they just it makes too much sense that they just foolishly thought that people flock to it because of a logo.
Right.
People don't buy these things for the logo. They buy them because they love the characters. People can hash out all day what they feel about the prequels, but they still showed up because they wanted to know how A got to B. All right. And that you still had essentially Darth Vader and Obi Wan Kenobi. So you still at least had those characters go. Plus, the characters that were set up, we at least enjoyed them. I mean, we understood what was going on. It wasn't like, it had a 3-part, the way a 3-part trilogy would be. You've had 2 3-part trilogies that had a middle and a beginning and an end. And then you have a new trilogy where everything just kind of ended in the middle and left you completely lost as to what was going to happen next. And I'm supposed to be happy about it because, now they can go anywhere. But it's like, well, what if we don't care where they're going anymore? What if all the people we cared about are already gone? You need to make me care about these characters in order for.
I'm interested in where Rose Tico's story is going to go.
Right,
she's gonna, run into somebody else.
Yeah. Go back in the potato sack, buddy.
She's going back to potato farms.
Yeah,
that should have been her backstory. She was on a potato farm.
She's gonna go free some more animals.
Rose Tico.
Ohio potatoes.
It's Rose Tico and her bucket of parts. Buckets of fun for everyone.
She's gonna get charged with sexual harassment and be locked in jail.
Rose Tico got me too'd by Finn.
She's gonna be forced off of her HoloNet account.
God, I'm glad they haven't tried to put social media in Star Wars, but it's going to happen.
They do. There's a HoloNet. If you read Revenge of the Sith novelization, there's a HoloNet. Yeah, there's a HoloNet.
No, I mean, yeah, they're communicating, but I'm talking about like the Star Wars equivalent of a Facebook and a Twitter. I mean, they have Coca-Cola in there now.
The HoloNet.
That's what I saw.
I'm telling you, they don't put it in the movie, but it's in the book.
I would love to see Palpatine tweeting. That would be amazing. Today, I blew up an entire solar system.
The Star Destroyer is fully operational.
No. Do you know how Do you know how many boffins I'm responsible for the deaths of? Hashtag fuck.
Palpatine body count.
I'm afraid that everything you've heard is fake news.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Luke
Anyway.
Skywalker body count.
Palpatine's tweets. That would be priceless, though.
We should start that then.
We do that.
Do a series today on HoloNet fake news.
I'd start tweeting to Mike Zero from it. He'd start reporting on it. Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. Today, Emperor Palpatine tweeted me and said, Directors Chris Terrio and JJ blah 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 in the mystery box. This is Star Wars news from the future.
That was okay, I guess. Nah.
I've never really done a Mike Zero impression.
Give me your Doomcock now. That's what she said.
That is not
He's answering his own jokes now.
I know, right?
That is not the first
Because I realized what I just said, and then I was like, "Oh hell!"
That is not the first time someone said that to me. It is the first time a guy has said that to me, though. So you now hold that distinction there, Tap.
You know, gotta get work on my achievements.
Oh, that's my favorite emoji.
I know. I get that one a lot. That and the eye roll for some reason. I don't know why.
This is just changing that emoji to Monica. This is the Monica emoji.
The shrug is now Monica. Just
so if I type in Monica, it shows up as an option.
Yep.
Seriously, I've been doing that since birth.
Can it please have a little bubble over it that says "Oh my Lord"? Please, because that would just be like, if it's going to be a Monica emoji, it's got to be like the complete. It's like an action figure.
I'm going to need you to find some Jesus before I murder you.
Come to me, child, your sins are repented. I'm the Reverend Lovejoy. Give highly, put your money in the collection plate. The church needs a new door.
Only a door.
Only a door, not a window.
No new roof.
No new roof. We've got buckets to catch the Lord's blessings of rain. He drops his bounty upon us.
Wah man.
What can I get a wah man?
Wah man.
Wah man.
So
Speaking of Wah man.
Speaking of Wah man. So Obi Wan is probably, I don't know, like I said, this, I mean, I'd like to be optimistic about it, but you know, it's every time I get optimistic about something, Monica, what happens?
It turns to shit.
It's a reverse Midas touch.
He doesn't even have to like go into detail. He can just be like, "Well, this looks really cool," and then within hours, it's like, "Nope, plot twist."
It literally was like an M Night.
And it's gone.
My life was like an M Night Shyamalan movie during the course of the announcement of Thor 4. To me, going, "Yay!" And then it was Taika Waititi says, Jane Foster. It's going to be Jane Foster. Yeah, she's going to be Thor. It's going to be great. You love it. Yeah, if you don't like it, you're a man, baby. I'm sorry. You don't know what you want until I've given it to you. And then, you know, he goes into his bullshit. And then I'm like, ugh. By the end of the week, it's like, is Thor even going to be in this movie? Yeah, she's a lady. So it's Lady Thor. No, that's Jane Foster. She's Lady Thor. So it's Lady Thor. No, it's Thor. God damn you, Taika. Why? And it went to shit. It just went to shit completely. I'm like, the entire, like, every project, it's like, I want to see, I love Scarlet Witch, WandaVision. It's like, now that's sounding like it's going to be not good. And I'm like,
WandaVision is going to be like, I rock your world.
Woo, 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 woo.
WandaVision.
Hey.
Low WandaVision.
WandaVision. I don't think they got that reference. I hope somebody picked that one up.
Deep cuts. We're showing our age now.
We were just talking about a living color the other night, though.
I rock your world.
Oh, that is, yeah. Jamie Foxx, Oscar-winning actor, used to play a cross-dressing ugly woman.
Yeah.
Used to play a tranny before it was cool.
He was, man. He was that LGBTQ ABCXYZ plus before it was cool and hip in 2019.
He did it before Martin Lawrence did it.
I'm surprised that hasn't surfaced. And you know, if we can get was a 2007 tweet from what's her face, and then she got fired. Sarah Silverman.
Yeah.
Oh,
a 12-year-old tweet. I mean, why not bring something back? Can you imagine? Have you guys ever seen Silver Streak? I know it's a.
So with Gene Wilder?
Yeah.
Long time ago. Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor.
Pryor.
So can you imagine doing the bathroom scene now? where Richard Pryor's getting Gene Wilder to put, brown shoe polish on his face so he can disguise himself as a black guy to get on the train.
Brian.
Oh my God! Now I gotta finish that.
Yeah,
movie.
Blazing Saddles.
Well, I know Blazing
Blazing
Saddles the whole
Saddles.
movie, but this is the only scene like that in Silver Streak. Just that scene. I mean, I get it. Blazing Saddles. I mean, you couldn't remake Blazing Saddles in the '90s. Forget about it now.
No.
I just saw History of the World Part 1 for the first time the other night.
Really? Oh my God!
I bought it. I bought it at Best Buy. I loved it. It was like,
good.
Yeah. Damn, that's good.
You made it all the way from the Renaissance, Roman Empire. Yeah, whatever it was, the Crusade. No one expects the Spanish Inquisition. Yeah. That's Monty Python.
That's Monty Python. But there was a Spanish Inquisition musical.
Well, Inquisition, what a show! You can't talk them out of nothing. Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah, and I always just like when I saw that years ago, obviously, and then like a couple of years later, like, when's part 2 coming out? And I didn't get the joke for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I want to see Jews on Ice. I think or Jews in Space. Hitler on
Hitler on Ice. Jews in Space.
Yeah, that'd have been
Hitler
awesome.
on Ice. Yeah.
It's like, that's funny. Oh, when's that coming out?
It's hysterical.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called Spaceballs.
The Jews in Space thing reminds me of the Muppet Show. Remember they used to have pigs in space. It would be
Pigs in Space lunchbox, dude.
that is amazing. That is
My first
amazing.
lunchbox. I had a Pigs in Space lunchbox.
Mine was a Star Wars. It was a Return of the Jedi, with the little Ewok thermos. It had like all the like Luke and all them on the outside of the lunchbox. It was a little metal lunchbox that had like a couple Ewoks on a little blue thermos.
Hey, we were poor. We couldn't afford a Star Wars lunchbox. I had to be happy with Pigs in Space.
Oh, dude, my grandma got me that.
You couldn't get the monkey's lunchbox.
Hey,
that's a little before my time.
Yeah. That's like in the '60s, man.
Pigs in Space?
No,
Pigs in
No,
Space was,
the monkeys.
the monkeys.
Oh, the monkeys. Yeah, that is
late
70s.
70s, early 80s.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, I was. What the hell was I talking about now? You killed
Yeah,
me.
what the
there.
hell were you talking
Cat.
about?
I don't
Pigs
know.
in Space
Bunch
was
of
a,
Oh, the pigs. Oh, so the Jews in space thing. I was like, can you see the Jews? It'd be like, Jews in space. We gotta be time to catch the early bird special. Make sure it's kosher. I want the kosher meal on the flight. It's got to be kosher, kid. It's got to be kosher.
Oh, the coming down.
I need an aisle seat. I need an aisle seat here. I've got bunions and my legs cramped. Morty, get an aisle seat for me. And they all move to South Florida, so they're all down there. They're all down there in your neighborhood. Hey, look. And I don't
they
care.
all sound like Jerry Lewis for some reason.
Jerry Lewis was a woman, an old Jewish woman. I'm wearing my sneakers in the pool. I don't want to get warts. There, I'm done.
All right.
The Jews in
Thank
space
God.
somehow ended up at Boca Vista Phase 2. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, well, I think we're done with that topic. Alan P. Why didn't no one tell me that he was in here?
That's what she said.
Why didn't
I tried
you
to
tell
tell
me my
you.
ass was so big?
You kept wanting to talk about the Jews.
Because we
I wanna
can't
know-
see him.
I
He's
wanna
like,
know more-
Well,
He's
thanks
like-
a lot, Dad.
I heard something about Jews in space.
Right?
Now,
About
it'd
the
be
Jews in
nice
space.
if it would let me know that someone was sitting here waiting to get in. But I want to know more about the Appalachian Americans tequila story. This sounds better than
I
what we're
know,
talking
that's
about.
hilarious.
Well, thank you, Dad. You know, it wasn't like I was waiting over here for you to pick me up from my soccer game.
Yeah, how long have you been waiting?
A Latino that plays soccer? No.
I'm Latino.
Somebody wait. No, is he?
I don't know. All I see is a white avatar and a black background. I'm really confused right now what I am.
I thought Hans Molman was Puerto Rican.
Well, he
No,
kinda
you're Puerto
is.
Rican.
I mean,
Yeah,
you
I'm
ever saw the
Puerto
movie? Well,
Shit.
if you ever saw the movie, what was it? Carlitos Way.
A
What
long
you
time
didn't
ago.
see,
Which
I love
one?
that movie. I love that movie.
not the one
Oh.
with that crapshoot of a rapper.
I can't wait for that.
No, the one with
I remember last time I blew my nose.
Al
Did Disney
Pacino.
buy that?
Carlitos
Did Disney
Way.
buy the rights to that movie yet? That's gonna be awesome when they get.
But real soon.
Listen,
So it's gonna be
y'all.
Carolina's way.
Why is it keep
Oh
flickering?
God, no.
It was
God,
that.
can
Al
you imagine if
Pacino
they
and
remade
Sean
Carlitos
Penn
Way?
was in that one. Yeah, that's
Yes,
a great movie.
that is
I have
correct.
I have that on Blu-ray. I love that movie. I love Sean Penn's character in that movie. He's such a sleazebag.
And practically fucked up everything in that whole movie.
He's so good in it though. He's just.
Well,
I just think he's
Sean
good.
Penn is practically a sleazebag naturally, so I don't
Oh,
think.
he's
Yeah, have you
true.
seen his
Yeah.
writing? He did a
He's a
book.
real bag.
But his character was pretty funny in that show.
Well, all you got to know is that after the ending of Carlitos Way, Carlito didn't die. He did get put into witness protection and went to live in a little town in some part of the 50 states with where everybody is yellow but not Asian.
Did you order spaghetti and marinara and got egg noodles and ketchup? I just need to know for research purposes.
Who told you
Nice.
about that?
You didn't get that deep cut. Okay.
I got it. Damn it. He did it. He's an idiot.
You got to keep up with me and my pop culture references, damn it.
Oh God, I can't remember anything I did today. Don't even ask me.
I wasn't.
What'd you do to me?
Oh, God, I don't want to talk about it.
But he brings it up.
I'm sure we'll hear about it on the news later.
All right, listen. Everything is fine in candy in New York City.
What?
The what?
Everything is fine
candy?
and dandy like candy in New York City. All right.
Everything is
Okay.
fine and dandy like candy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure it is.
Oh God, you guys don't believe me.
So I find it even in on this platform, LMP is still hard to hear.
Mm-hmm.
What are you trying to say?
Nothing. I'm just making an observation.
He's trying to say that
Instead
your
of speak English.
No,
that your audio does not digital does not pick up your audio. Is what he's trying to say.
All right,
You're not
Dad,
speaking
it was
human.
me
Yeah.
speaking slow and loud for you.
No, it's not slowing out. It cuts out. You get digital static, especially if someone makes any kind of noise while you're talking.
Oh dear God, that just could be my equipment. I mean, this is powered on Boral
That's what
technology.
she
That's what
said.
she said.
LMP's
Freaking Pete, I'm
mic'd
saying
out
that
of
all the
Legos.
time.
Now, Monica, you gotta be quicker with that. That's what those are.
I'm
real
trying to
hard.
let them have a couple because I feel like I take
Don't
them.
let them have nothing. They don't let you have nothing.
These people don't never let us have nothing.
Oh God.
Sounds like my pastor. Oh God, I'm stop making jokes
So-
about my religious
So what
life.
was our next topic?
Your mother.
Star Wars
Ooh.
Resistance Season 2.
No, that's not the next topic.
It isn't?
Oh,
Okay.
the next topic. Hey, let me put it in the banner and oh man.
The orange banner.
I am going to be your ass.
Wow, really?
Was that an H?
That was a hashtag.
Hey,
He did
Hashtag, but
oh my
stuff.
Lord. Yeah.
so in the Disney's purchase of Fox, one of the things they got was the Die Hard franchise with 3 good movies and 2 what the freaks were those? And he just
My
left
pee.
again.
Karma.
Again? You did?
He was pointing down. I don't know. Does that mean he was trying to leave?
laughs.
So we're getting a device is not connected. So welcome back, Pete. Were you pointing down for a reason? Like you're
He ain't back yet.
No, I was pointing at the banner. I was
There
like,
you go.
pointing at the banner. See, it's like Die Hard or Soft. I was like, oh.
Yes, and that's actually where I got the title for today's episode. So we're getting. I don't know if it's a reboot, if it's a prequel, if it's a prequel reboot. It's going to be a younger John McClain, from what we know. It's not going to be rated R, and if it's not a pure reboot and it's just kind of a prequel thing, it's really going to screw with continuity, quite possibly. But hey, Lucas already did that with the prequels and Star Wars, so why not? I think,
So what's going to be set in Nakatomi Tower as it's being built then?
Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Now, if they make it the backstory, because remember in the first movie, he's kind of a little bit in trouble, right? He's always kind of in trouble with his captain.
Mm-hmm.
So, and as well, his wife wants to divorce him or whatever. But I just look at it. This is all we get out of Hollywood anymore from the big studios. We're either getting sequels or remakes of like The Lion King, like we've already discussed, or reboots. and some reboots are fairly drastic, like the Star Trek stuff. There's sort of a continuity, but they kind of loop back. And then other things like what's another one? What did they just recently reboot?
Well, Star Trek isn't so character driven to where you can basically sell something by a logo. You can. It's been done before. You've had the Next Generation. You've had Voyager, Deep Space Nine. You don't need those original characters in a Star Trek. But yeah, something like Die Hard. I mean, Star Wars is obviously character driven, which is why the new Star Wars isn't working anymore, because there's no original characters left to give a shit about anymore. So Die Hard. Yeah, I don't know, dude.
With the bench.
Die Hard, starring Idris Elba.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, that's the other thing. What's
So who's the
twist?
villain?
What's the recast twist?
The Rock. The Rock is the villain.
They're going to make him
No,
a trans.
He'll be trans.
It was always trans.
He's black. There's the twist.
It just seems funny to me that for all the shit that everybody gave the prequels for being prequels and like who cares about somebody's backstory and all that, that Disney's does so much of that. Like they think that we can do prequels and we can make it work. I mean, nobody even really liked the Hobbit trilogies as much as they liked the Lord of the Rings.
I found out about that.
You know,
Yeah. And that was something that could have been good, but it was studio meddling that screwed it up. Peter Jackson's original thing with that was to bring in some of the extended works of Tolkien, make it 2 movies. But I forget who owned the rights to that. It wasn't the same one who did Lord of the Rings. They was like, well, this other studio got their Tolkien trilogy. We want our trilogy. So they expanded it into a trilogy. He originally wanted someone else to direct. That all fell through. And it was just, it was just a CGI suckfest. I
Tell
don't
me how you really feel.
I don't see I don't see anything good coming out of this.
you know what I think it is? Seriously, it's Disney thinks short-term gains rather than long-term reoccurrent spending. They want to buy something that made money. They want to have that money too, but they don't know how to replicate how it works. They've done that. They've failed time and time again with everything that they're buying right now. They don't know how to replicate how it works. They just think that they can buy it and it will basically run itself, and it doesn't work like that. They don't think long term. I think you've said this before on this show that Disney is at some point the bubble's going to burst because they've consumed so many properties that they don't know how to manage any of them. They're overwhelmed by all the crap that they have.
Yeah.
Is it just the 3 of us? Did everybody else leave?
No,
They're lurking.
Ellen P's finally learned to be quiet.
I'm just listening to you guys.
Well, there is something I would like to see in this Die Hard reboot or remake or prequel or whatever it is. What was the name of the Carl Winslow character in the movie?
I don't know his. I can't remember his name, but I know you're talking. He's the God. They need to make a spin-off.
In the movie, his character?
Yeah, they need to make a movie just about him.
Okay.
It wasn't Al Pone?
Well, this is what I want to find out how he killed that. We want to know more about how he shot that kid.
Yeah,
there you go.
Oh, you mean Al Powell?
Okay, that's Al Pone.
Yeah,
His character is Al Powell. Al Powell.
Yeah. Now he impregnated his wife.
Oh.
And they're gonna get what's his name? That black guy, the other black guy, the one in Creed.
Oh God,
you know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Fuck, it's really on the tip of my. Well, I don't have a brain right now, but I know what you're trying to get at.
Michael B. Jordan. He's gonna play him in the prequel.
He's gonna shoot that kid.
Yep. He's gonna. Yep.
Okay. This is gonna come out really offensive. Who here wants to guess the race?
Of what?
Chinese.
Damn it!
Or the kid he's gonna shoot.
Oh.
I'm gonna say Chinese. There's Chinese people in LA.
Okay, it's LA. I'm going to say Mexican.
Is it gonna be MS-13?
Nah, that's too sophisticated.
Get off the wireless.
I know. I got to get a cable, man.
You
I do
still
believe
haven't bought
that.
that?
No.
But you spent $40 on a charger. You just
When you when you go to that Best Buy, buy that cable.
Yeah.
I'll go to Walmart tomorrow. I'll have one before Wednesday.
Sure. Does
Right.
anyone want to take bets now, or see if he's going to get it by Wednesday?
I'll take it
Yeah.
any day.
We're going to do a pool every time he says he's going to do something.
5 says no.
Hey, look, I'll send y'all my PayPal information, and I'm gonna take that and spend it on action figures after I win it, chicks. I'll go get it tomorrow.
There you go.
I need a new action figure. God damn it, it's been a minute. And I've been looking at some Marvel Legends figures.
I think you got to pay your employees first.
Yeah.
I'm a
But
pay.
hey,
Kind of do.
But
I'm a-
the Lion King reboot, remake, redo, whatever the freak that's called, that made $1 billion.
Mhm.
I know, that's disappointing. It's like, what the hell, people?
Yeah, and
Listen,
it's-
people were gonna watch
Like, my
that.
damn brother and his girlfriend went to see it, and he's all like, well, it was bad. Like, I told you. I fucking told you. He didn't listen.
but didn't it bring in over $1 billion, or am I just?
Like $1 billion. I want to say it was about $1 billion. It made money. Let's say that then.
Yeah,
It wasn't a flop.
Should have been.
Should've been.
Do any of you watch
I know. But what, Adam?
What was it?
the Nostalgia Critic? Channel Awesome Nostalgia Critic
What about him?
on YouTube. You guys watch?
He used to.
I don't watch his ass. He's a pedophile.
Oh,
What?
No, I don't know. He was something. Remember that whole drama? No, I'm just saying. Remember that drama? Was it last year about all the shit they were doing?
yeah, I didn't.
I don't know.
I don't really care about the people. I just like the show. But he
Yeah.
did a big thing about he hated the Lion King so much, and he's angry that it's making so much money because all of these properties within Disney are making money because people are so tired of disappointment that they want to go see something that they already know it's good so they can feel safe and warm and secure and not have to worry about thinking too much. They just want to see the same thing again from a different perspective.
That's true.
I was just wondering if anybody
God,
else
I
would
hate
do
that he's actually right.
Yeah, that's I was hoping that would be the first one to lose. Aladdin too. That one actually was profitable, and it's not going to stop until people stop paying for it. It's the same thing that I was always saying about the video games. It's like, if you want this stuff to stop, quit buying it. Quit buying Call of Duty every year. Just don't buy it. Just 1 year,
Call
don't
of
buy
Duty
it.
is looking good this year.
It is
Yes,
this
it
year
is.
because they need to. They're going on the other side because Battlefield has lost so much money. But people did not buy Battlefield because they were insulted by the developers. They didn't buy it, therefore they might not make another one. That's really all it takes is to just not buy that thing, and they won't make it anymore. You want to stop these things? Stop paying for it. Stop giving them money. That's the only way to stop any of this crap.
You know, the sad thing is that you are completely 100% right, and I know I've beaten this topic to death already about, you know, stop buying into the product, but I think you guys already told you the story about like what's happening with the Pokemon games, right? That they
Yeah,
basically
I heard about
Not
it.
since I've been on the show, no.
Yeah. So basically they're making their way to the home console and the Switch this year, which is a big shock because, you know, they haven't had the main games actually be on a home console ever. You know, that's a big
They're
shock.
portable. They're on a DS, right?
Yeah, but that's the thing. The games are running DS level hardware, on DS level software on a hardware that can do much more than that. I mean, if anybody's played Breath of the Wild, yeah, the Switch is capable of great things, but so that was that's a big issue of the controversy. Is like, look at these animations, look at these models, look at the background detail. It's all looking terrible. But here's the thing, and it's not really so much the games I want to focus on. Awesome! I actually have the same color too. But what's the worst part about it, and it was interesting, I watched this video on it, was that they basically said that they've been doing this for years now. And it's gotten to the point of stagnation, but people kept buying into the merchandise. And how they made their money, Game Freak, was by just selling merchandise. 83% of this franchise's profits are all merchandise. The games are just basically for show. So if people really want to see some change, they got to stop buying into it. Simple as that.
Yeah. because they pretty much stopped buying the Star Wars stuff. So I mean, it is possible to stop these things from being, but you have to completely agree to. People have to finally lose interest, and I think what it is with these Disney reboots is there's not a lot out there in the pool to choose from. You know, as far as they knew when to release it, they released it in the summer when the kids are out of school, so they take the kids to the kids show. Well, we know what the Lion King's about, so there's probably not going to be anything too rough or depressing in there. So we'll go see that. And as long as these people keep filling the theaters and seeing these things over and over and over again, despite whether they like them or not, they're not going to stop coming out.
I'm guilty. But I got the little kids that are like, Auntie, we want to go see it. And you can't tell them no.
You can't say no to their faces. Exactly.
I can't.
They know what they're doing.
Just put on the DVD.
Do you know people actually bought Hellboy on DVD? They bought Hellboy on Blu-ray. I went and saw that movie. It's terrible. Who the hell's going out and buying this movie, and why?
People that hate themselves.
It's awful. I think last week it was like number 2, the number 2 best-selling DVD or Blu-ray was Hellboy. So they'll go buy some terrible Blu-ray like this and take it home and watch it. Why?
Because why not?
Well, that's what I'm getting at is why try it when you don't have to. That's the whole problem. You know.
Well, I have a question here. So, how much do you think of this, especially in the younger generation, is being fueled by? Well, we didn't see the original, and the reason why I asked this is remember the Rick and Morty Szechuan sauce debacle.
Yeah,
where they talked about something that did not exist. And people freaked out and got all pissed off that they didn't have a chance to try the Szechuan sauce. That was never real. And how much of this? So we get these reboots of movies made 20, 30 years ago for the new generation because it's their turn. It's their version. And it's like they want all of the old. It's like it's like history started 10 years ago.
Yeah, in their eyes, they do think they're the first one to do everything. Look at Marvel with that crap. Oh, the first movie to have this and the first movie to have that. It's like, no, it's not. No, it's not. Us old guys remember. It's not the first time you did this thing. You know. Right.
Well, they want to talk about Black Panther being the first black superhero. No, they want to talk about Wonder Woman first movie with a female lead, and then we get Wonder Woman. And then a couple of years later, they do the same nonsense with Captain Marvel. It's like, well, wait a minute, Wonder Woman.
But we're the first ones that did it, yeah.
And Captain Marvel,
you weren't the first ones, yeah.
Right. Neither of you were the first ones. We've already had female-led action movies and superhero movies.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even time ago.
In fact, Blade was one of the few superhero movies that was actually successful pre MCU. You know what I mean? A lot of Marvel movies that came out were trash, like Punisher.
Right. Well, Wesley Snipes for Blade though to do that franchise justice though. Wesley Snipes was an amazing casting call for that, and I mean he made it cool. I mean he was. I watched.
It's
the
like
movie
he got the character and he became the character, which is all you could really ever want from an actor.
He did. He nailed it.
He physically embodied the role. Yeah.
Yep. Like completely encapsulated that essence of that role was him. And that's what the recasting thing makes me nervous.
Tap, I was talking about the Punisher with Dolph Lundgren. I should have been a little
bit. Oh, okay. I was going to say.
No, the Tom Jane one. And to be honest, I actually like the Dolph Lundgren movie to a point, but I'll admit it's not a good movie. All right. It's got its moments, but it's not.
I say like a few seconds of it.
It was not successful is what I'm getting at. You had stuff like, did you ever see the original Captain America movie that came out in the 90s?
But that's the thing. People have access to it these days. Like, I just saw a movie from 1959, like, yesterday, and I liked it, but I was able to see it. I didn't ask for a reboot of it.
Well, that's just
Some like it hot. Yeah.
That's why it's frustrating to watch all these reboots, because it's like these old movies still exist. You can still watch them. They're not going anywhere. Just because, like, well, this is our time now. It's like, well, why do you have to?
It's my time, bitch.
Keep doing the same thing. Can't you come up with some? These studios don't want to bankroll anything that wasn't a success before, so they just have to remake the old and remake the old and remake the old, and it's
annoying.
Well,
one of the things that David Applegate brought up in the chat. And we've talked about this before, especially with Disney. It started with the mouse, and they had in their early years they had various shorts and cartoon stuff. But when they started to really make their money in the feature length cartoons, they were for the most part, retelling of Grimm's fairy tales, right? So they got the rights to the movie rights, or by hook or by crook. I don't know exactly remember how, but they were essentially even then rewriting these grand fairy tales. They made them more. Now, granted, they toned them down a lot. They made them more palatable for people to digest. And we get Mickey Mouse, and as a wizard, and we get different things, and we get Cinderella, and and the mice and all that, and Snow White and some dwarfs, and et cetera, but so many of their, not all, but so many of their big movies were rewrites of existing material. And someone's echoing again.
It's not me.
Not me.
It's you.
Surprisingly.
It's not me.
Is it me?
Not me.
It's not
Oh,
me.
God.
Monica.
No, it's
We got-
not.
it's
I
not
can tell you
me.
who it is.
Who is it?
It's a ghost.
You can play the
Stab.
mute game, and then we'll find out.
It's the ghost of Frank. Reality's Frank.
Oh,
I thought it was Eric Ward.
See, I
Oh
muted
hell,
him.
that ghost is gone.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I know the
Mr.
guest.
Chipotle in heaven.
Late, you know who it is?
Is it
Is
Monday?
that one guy we banned from this channel?
Which one? There's like
It's
two
not
of
in
them.
here, so it can't be him.
Wait, who?
There's two people.
It was
I thought it
me
was
the
you.
whole. It was me, Austin. It was me all
Was
along.
me on. Oh, son of a
Cleveland
bitch.
Brown.
I was about to say Vince McMahon. Nah, we want you back on the show.
All right.
Shit. Ever meet Vince McMahon? I probably will have one of those like Spurs fan moments right there where I'm like asking a bunch of dumb questions just because I've met like my idol or something like that. No, he's not my idol or anything, but you gotta admire the guy, man. The guy.
I would tell him, I said,
It's-
dude, you're fucking crazy. You know that, right?
He would, and I tell you exactly what Vince McMahon would do if he met you. He would walk right by you like he didn't know you existed, because that's exactly how Vince McMahon treats normal people outside of his circle. When he's not,
I would
like,
I would do a wrestling move on him. I'd come up behind him with the chair, with the metal chair, just hit him in the back.
like now outside of like his few like public appearances that he does, he is just this crotchety old insane racist son of a bitch. That is exactly what Vince McMahon is. We don't have to talk wrestling, but I've talked to guys that worked. Mick Foley told me that, like back in 2009 when I met Mick Foley. I kind of sat down and talked to him for a few minutes, and I was lucky enough to. And yeah, that was one of the things that he told me, because I said, "What was it like working for Vince McMahon as compared to working for TNA?" And it's a time Dixie Carter. And he said, "It's working for TNA is great because I get to do my own schedule basically outside of TV, but with WWE I got to see everything and go everywhere in the world. But Vince McMahon is an insane, crazy, racist son of a bitch. So, it is what it is." But that's just like there's a lot of things they say, don't meet your heroes. I met a lot of wrestlers that I looked up to for a long time and was sorely disappointed when I met them and got to like meet them on the same plane. Was like I was a worker and they were a worker. And yeah, it was just like there's a few that were really super cool, but there was a lot that were just, oh my God, yeah, I could have done
I made that mistake with some musicians. Like I got kind of close to them, started talking to them, then you realize how stupid they are, and it's like, oh wow.
Musicians, I guess, I've only talked to a couple when I was DJing, but like mainstream ones. But yeah, the athletes, musicians, there's a lot of them. They're just so full of themselves. It's like, oh my God.
It's like I started making music, and then I just like instantly wound up in the circle of people that I was following. I was like suddenly in that circle, and you start talking to some of these people one-on-one, you realize how dumb some of them are. And it's like, oh wow. Like you can make awesome music, but I don't know how you get out of bed and live day to day as dumb as you are. It's like, wow.
Well, I'll say this much. At least I got to meet Goku and Vegeta before they turned out to be total spurts.
Yeah, poor bastard. You poor bastard.
I got to interview
I have
Ice-T
to
before
sit
he
on my
became
wall,
a
too.
cop on TV.
Ooh,
Ice-T?
Ice-T.
Yeah.
really?
Before he was water tea.
Yeah. I interviewed him backstage at a Body Count concert when I was working for a college newspaper.
Uh-huh.
Nice.
Yeah.
Really?
Pretty cool guy.
Got to meet him. Wow.
Yeah.
He
During
sounds
the
like-
During the body count tour, when they were getting picketed out front Chicago and by the Chicago police, they were picketing the concert because of the cop killer song. And then he wound up playing a cop on TV.
That's actually
Crazy.
pretty. You know what's crazy that I like about him is that the Law and Order once did an episode where they had their quote unquote Arnita Sarkeesian character on the show, and she got kidnapped by a bunch of gamers. So you can kind of tell where this episode is going, right? No, this episode exists. Look it up. Yep,
I know about the episode. I've never seen it, but I've heard about it.
Well, so I listened to IC's podcast on it, right? And he says, well, listen, a lot of guys, especially hardcore gamers got upset. We did the episode and everything like that. But he's like, guys, I want you to understand something. We were just doing a show. It's a script and everything. Don't let that get in the way of what you do. Just do you and be you. Don't worry about what the rest of the world thinks about you. And I always thought, I like that he was very down to earth and that he basically said it how it should have been said. So, seems like a cool guy overall, man.
He has two modes. He has intelligent business mode, and then he has like Neanderthal mode. You can just like switch it on and off. Yeah.
Oh, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, if he wanted to like bust a cap on somebody, he would do it.
Hey, he's trained. He was in the army.
He was a legit. Wasn't he like straight up like a legit pimp back in the day too?
Yep.
Because he was on that Pimps Up Hose Down show, that HBO. Before you kids at home, before Dave Chappelle did the Player Haters ball, there was a show on HBO called Pimps Up Hose Down, and yeah, it talked to real pimps, and yeah, there was that role he did on Chappelle's show, and that was magnificent. And that whole segment was great. But yeah, Ice-T is just he always seemed like that really cool cat, but it's like, yeah, you just didn't want to piss him off,
Never want to piss off those people, man.
And his wife is pretty good looking too, I'm not gonna lie.
Coco?
Yeah. I like Coco.
Of course you do.
Coco's all right. What the hell is that supposed to mean?
I have no idea.
What the hell is that supposed to mean?
I like a do the cha-cha.
He just bounces around. First he likes Tessa Thompson, now he likes what's her name that plays Ray.
There we go.
The one that looks like the mask.
Jesus Christ. Hey, look, man, just because I have a veritable cornucopia of flavors and tastes I like and I wouldn't mind sampling. I mean, look, man, that's
we
why
all have weird tastes. But,
exactly.
I have to draw the line at some of those tastes that you mentioned.
Hey, man.
You know what?
Well, at least they ain't Lena Dunham like Dion.
No.
Bringing it back to Die Hard, though. Back to Die Hard. The only thing I can say about that franchise is it's kind of been dead already. There's not really anything to ruin at this point because even Bruce Willis doesn't give a shit about the character anymore.
Nope.
The last couple movies were disappointments, and so what? Ruin it all you want. I don't give a shit, to be honest with you. You still have the old movie, unless somebody can go out and destroy every copy and every Blu-ray that's been sold in the last several hundred years. You can still watch 100. That. 87 that one came out. I can't do maths right now.
I still like the third one the best. The second one was garbage, and the
second one is garbage. Yeah,
and the third one was good, and the first one was the first one was good. The third one was great, maybe really good, and the other two, just by the preview alone, I'm like, yeah, this is garbage. This is worse than 2.
So there's really nothing to ruin there. They can reboot it. I don't know what they think they're going to do with it, but it'll be interesting to find out. I'll say that much.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's going to be a reboot or a prequel or it don't matter. It's gonna suck. It is.
It'll probably end up being some shitty prequel along the lines of Soilo quality with an Alden Peckerwood-esque lead that we'll forget about because he's some little beta soy male who has no acting credits before or after he takes on the role.
Appalachian America, notice that the Beaner is here.
Don't be long enough.
Hey, on today's game of Out the Beaner, the Appalachian American joins us.
He had to go pick up his wife or something. I don't know. DD from my wife.
I think she had to pick him up.
Oh, shots fired.
Oh, designated driver. Okay.
Oh, shit.
He was drunk. Well, he says
I need to
DD
start
always
using
one. I'm going to take it both ways. Designated driver and other ways.
Take it both ways. That's what she said.
Endowment.
Ooh.
There we go.
Ooh.
Ooh, what? What do you?
I don't know. I just say dumb shit all the time.
All right. Well, let's move on to our next topic, okay?
All right.
Good. Let's see how well this works. Ta-da! Star Wars Resistance is cancelicated. Does
Yay.
anybody care?
After it drops, it's gonna have a second sequel. I mean, a second season.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So
Good riddance,
Oh, fuck that.
Resistance. That's all I gotta say. Good
I
riddance,
did anybody else watch the show? I watched like probably
Hell to the no.
well because I wanted to review it, but I didn't have my channel at the time, so I watched it and I sat through it.
because you're a sucker.
I was like,
Fuck
I want
that.
to see how bad this is because I watched a trailer and I'm like, oh my god, this looks like a shit show. So I sat through like at least 5 episodes of the first season. I didn't watch the entire thing, and the lead is an idiot. He gets made to be look even dumber progressively. I don't know. It's just like the characters. It's bad animation. The color palette is like juvenile at best. They said they aimed it towards children, but they put it on at 10 p.m. on Sundays. And then they end it now. They cancel it because they said there's no more story to tell after episode 9. But that's a bold
Disney saying
lie.
there's no more story to tell. That's
Right.
the pot calling the kettle black.
Exactly. I'm like, wait, you're rebooting
That's
and,
racist.
and
That's the pot calling the kettle is still.
and adding sequels and prequels and trilogies to this and that and the other thing. You've got a whole streaming service. You're taking the MCU and you're like, oh look, now we can put 900 shows for the MCU together and make only fucking 3 movies a phase. So they're cheaping out on that, but you can't. You don't have any more stories to tell for Star Wars. It's a shit show. Nobody was watching it. Their viewership was horrible. They were like sub 300,000 people an episode at some points. Which is for that show is terrible.
Is the audience the same SJWs that watch Doctor Woke? I mean, Doctor Who?
This show really didn't.
Woo-woo.
The show didn't have like a target audience because it was like it was schizophrenic with who am I trying to appeal to. Ultimately, it couldn't appeal to adults, so they said they marketed towards kids, but they wanted to catch adults for the marketing, for the toy sales, but it didn't work because these are the toys that you see on clearance.
Did you see that episode of Red Letter Media? It was a review of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but they said something really interesting. They kept talking about the MCU because everybody keeps comparing all movies to the MCU because those are like almost all the movies that are out all of the time. They dominate so much the box office that people are like conditioned to accept that kind of a formula. But what they were saying is that these movies don't need directors anymore. They're so assembled by committee and follow a formula so rigidly that you don't really even need a director. You could almost hire a computer to finish the movie for you and it would be done and it would come out exactly the same and nobody would notice the difference. It's like these directors are directors in name only. They're not really doing anything because their movies don't really have any kind of creative drive. You have all of these, every scene in these movies have to appease a certain demographic. Everything's like made in a committee by a checklist. I have to do this scene for these people. I have to do these scene for those people. I have to include these people in this movie. By the time you get done, there's nothing left. There's no vision to it. It's assembled by committee movie. The cartoons seem like it's exactly that.
Adam, why are you taking over the show again?
Yeah, you're right. That's just joking.
I'm just kidding.
No, it is. I get really long-winded with the Star Wars stuff. Man.
That's okay. I was
so
joking.
frustrated with the Star Wars stuff. I hate it so much. It's out of all the things that have been destroyed, that's been the hardest thing to watch fall of everything.
Hey Pete, I apologize.
No, dude, don't rip
I
him about
apologize.
that, man. Don't rip him about that because no, Adam, I trust me. I feel you on this because, like I said, we're both like from the original trilogy era, and yeah, seeing
you hear that term like, "Oh, you destroyed my childhood," and I don't like using that because it's been mean
I don't
to death,
either.
but it's like it's so interwoven with my childhood that it's hard not to feel a certain way about it.
See,
so when you watch these things get mishandled so much, that's been the hardest one because I have lost legitimate friends, like people I've known for years,
Yeah.
for not liking a movie.
That's terrible.
That's
doesn't make
horrible.
any sense. I have literally had that happen to me. Why would you stop talking to me all these years because I don't like the same movie you like? What happened to us? You know, it's like these people are my age. They should know better. But they decided that this movie falls on some kind of political scale now. You know, Star Wars never needed that before. It never needed that. It didn't belong anywhere near that. It did not need that. And then now that it's there, you can't not see it. It's been the hardest thing to watch fall apart, at least for me.
Absolutely. And like I said, it's only been what 7 years since Disney bought Lucasfilm. Was it 2012?
I didn't think they'd mishandle it this bad. I thought maybe they'd make some kind of weak movies, but I didn't think it would be to where we're at now. I still have a hard time waking up every day and knowing where it's at.
No, like I said, it's to me, it doesn't like it doesn't ruin my childhood per se, but it's like seeing a piece of your youth just get bastardized, like some poor innocent bastard in a truck stop bathroom he stumbled into drunk at 4 a.m. when Seabass was waiting for him.
That's what I was waiting for. I was waiting for that.
It was just it's a horrifying thing. It absolutely is. And yeah, man,
Seabass is very scary.
And that it is. But then, like I said, you see what this machine that just chews up and spits out these cookie cutter paint by numbers movies, and it's like, this isn't Star Wars. This is just a husk. With
that's the thing. As much as you can talk about how Lucas is a lazy director, because he is, let's face it,
Mm-hmm.
right? He's a very lazy director. All right, he doesn't understand pacing. He doesn't understand how to direct actors. He doesn't know how to get a performance out of somebody. The prequels have their problems. Everybody knows where they are. We've talked to it to death. It was still one man's vision, a man who prioritized the story over everything else. He didn't fucking need the money. He didn't need to appease a certain demographic. He wanted to make the movie he wanted to make, and nobody was going to stop him from doing that. Now, when you design all these things by committees, you have this shit that we're watching now, and we're watching it all fail nonstop. All of it.
Nobody gives a fuck about Batu. Nobody fucking cares
I do.
about Batu. Don't lie. Don't you lie to me.
I'm not.
Don't you
I'm
lie
very
to me.
passionate about Batu.
You got your money saved up for your custom lightsaber?
He
Well,
can't even
Damn
say
straight.
without laughing.
You can't even finish the sentence. Yeah.
I will
No,
finish
man.
that sentence without laughing.
see, but that's the thing about Lucas. He could world build. The prequels were about world building. Look at, like, I wish we would get something like that was worth its salt about like Kashyyyk, because what about the droid attack on the Wookiees?
Fuck
It-
the Wookiees.
Hey man,
Hey.
them Wookiees, them goddamn Empire attacked the Wookiees for their oil, man. Fuck that Empire.
Damn straight. Let's get that oil.
They did. That's why the Empire attacked. They enslaved the planet of Kashyyyk multiple times during the course of the mythos because they had oil and they needed that oil for their fleet.
Africa.
Well, hey man, that's why it happened. Adam, am I wrong?
No.
Exactly. So
Why'd you
fucking
hesitate?
Ain't nothing wrong with going to war over oil. You should know that, Pete.
oh hey,
So what
Did
happened?
Pete die?
I don't have any problem with that.
Yeah.
I think he's back.
We're playing our flag wherever we want. We're the goddamn United States.
Damn straight. We're going to Pluto soon
I can't wait.
for their oil. We're gonna bring them some democracy.
But I mean, back to that rumor that we're always talking about too. It's like if you apply that to this situation right here, to Resistance getting canceled, okay, and you think of all of the stories that were in those books, there were all the expanded universe books, all the comic books, all the video games. You could have made any number of movies out of those, and they probably would have been profitable. But then again, does that trace back to Lucas? Does he get a percentage of that, and they don't want him to have that? They want to keep all of the percentages. It's a numbers game, man.
Yeah. See, now that's part of the rumor that I have a suspicion is correct, that Lucas may have had a right to some of that stuff, but to say,
Yeah.
'cause I think part of what they were talking about last night too was and I don't know, I kind of was half listening and didn't listen for very long because I had other things to do, but that it was tanked on purpose, and I'm like, no, I don't think they tanked it on purpose. I think
I can't see them not wanting to make money out of it, because I used to think that too. Honestly, I used to think, well, maybe they bought this to destroy it so that they could make room for their other properties. But why would you spend $4 billion just to destroy it and just keep making movies? You could have just bought it and sat on it. You know what I mean? You didn't have to do it this way. Why would you walk away from money? And then when I found out that they were building Star Wars theme park, well, then that no longer makes any sense, because the movies are basically commercials for your theme park. Well, why would you not want those to be successful? So that part I can't believe either. I think they misjudged what they did. I think they made some huge missteps, but I don't think that they tanked it on purpose. That doesn't make any sense. But if they tanked it to squeeze Lucas out so that he didn't get the percentage, that makes more sense, because they want all of the money, not just part of it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
They want the quickest return on their investment that they can get, which is why they made a lot of stupid decisions. They made these movies motivated by numbers rather than anybody having any vision. I knew something was up when that first movie came out as fast as it did. It was not even years after they made that purchase. I'm like, wow, that was really fast. Like the Phantom Menace took like 5, 6, 7 years to make.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know if it took that long, but Lucas
seems like it did. Yeah.
I mean, the original one took years to make, and that's, I think, part of why it's so much better in many ways, because that script was worked and reworked and stuff was thrown out, and
they took their time with it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Empire was a little bit kind of in between, and by the time we get to Jedi, then it's the merchandising is more important, but. And Lucas was able to do some of the stuff that he had wanted to do in the first one with, he wanted a big Wookiee. We kind of, we got Kashyyyk battle and all that other stuff. But to me, it's just, I think, I didn't want more of the original characters unless
new stuff.
Unless it was going to be a handoff, right? And I know there's an interview with Mark Hamill I think it was in the early 90s. Mid-90s, with George had asked him, hey, 10, 15 years down the road, what do you think about being in a movie? I guess maybe it's 20 years or whatever, handing off Excalibur. I mean, that's the term he used. And I don't know if that was on Carson or whatever, but, and that kind of, like Obi-Wan was, passing on the next generation. And when we got this announcement, I thought that's what we were going to get.
Me too.
That was the big rumor back in 83. Was he's going to take some time off. He was going to do 1, 2, and 3. He's going to do 7, 8, 9. Now I know there's a lot of speculation as to really that and all this bullshit, but there probably was some kind of outline, and
at least an outline. Yeah,
and Now I must say that I've heard some stuff about the ideas that he gave to Jar Jar when Disney took over. I didn't like his ideas any more than what we got. I was like, oh my god, if that's really what they were going to do, then I don't want anything. But this idea that we could crank one out every year, like they were trying to turn it into like what Marvel is. We're going to get up to 3 Star Wars movies a year or something, so we're going to expand the universe. The universe was huge, not even inside them. But I thought, my thing even in the movies, we're following a handful of characters, but the universe
feels like Disney made it smaller. Yeah,
right.
like they made that universe like so much smaller than it needed to be.
And they could have. Yeah, they dumped the EU. I think a lot of it was greed. They didn't want to pay all those royalties, and they rewrote some stuff. Some of it, from what I understand, is decent. Most of it's crap, but even most of the regular EU was crap. They didn't want to share. They wanted their profits back as quickly as possible. So they probably are obligated to put some of the original characters in, but because there was no heart in it. It was all about money. I think that's the biggest reason why it's faltering so much. In particular, in
100%. Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
Merchandising being where the real money is, and that's where they failed the hardest.
They thought that they could adopt that business model from the 70s. Like, well, he made all this money off of merchandising. We're going to do the exact same thing. It doesn't matter if it's good or not, because the prequels were all shit and people bought all that merchandise, so they'll be fine with doing this. And no, not so much. It's just not. And it has nothing to do. Some people like to use that excuse. Well, kids don't buy toys anymore. bullshit. They're buying
Right.
the Marvel stuff and Spider-Man and God, Power Rangers, Fortnite. They buy those toys. So the stuff just has to be good for the kids to want to buy it.
Dude, I was in Best Buy a couple days ago. They had the creepiest toy. I thought it was supposed to be one of those like My Little Pet Shop cats, right? And I was looking at it, I was like, this thing is evil looking. And then I see Brie Larson's face on the side of the box. It's
no.
Pete has a picture. He can post it in the chat for you. But it is like the creepiest evil furry cat from Captain Marvel that they're selling to kids.
God.
Oh God. That thing's fucking hideous.
Wow.
Is that the one that takes his eye?
Yes.
Yeah.
I still haven't seen that movie. Don't give a shit if I do or not.
You're not
Don't
missing
give a shit.
anything.
No. I'm done with the MCU, man. I don't care.
Not me.
Welcome.
It's been nice knowing you. I'm gone so long, and thanks for all the fish.
Yeah.
Hey, my favorite character. They killed Thanos.
Thanos is coming back. Thanos is. They're watch in the Eternals. They'll probably end up having a young Thanos in the Eternals. I'll guarantee it. No, seriously.
Oh my God, they're gonna have
I'm laughing because you're right.
It's gonna end up. It'll end up happening.
Yeah. Well, here's something interesting that Appalachian Americans put in the chat. I don't know if you guys watched it. How do you think of this? So if the rumors are true that we're going to get some kind of time travel nonsense, and they go back before Episode 3, and Alden Ehrenreich shows up as a young Han Solo, not younger, obviously, not like he's a teenager, but
probably not.
I don't think so.
Because he ain't got no movies going on.
He has nothing. Look at
they don't want his ass back.
He's not listed for anything.
He can't fucking sell figures either. So
his figure at my Walmart, there was 2 Blade Builders figures left, and his Solo figure was the last one on the shelf.
Solo. I guess he was Solo then, huh?
Wah.
Sorry, I know.
What?
Anyway, go ahead.
I missed it too, Pete. Don't worry about it.
Oh.
Just turn your head and cough and go on.
I wasn't paying.
The Solo figure was Solo on the shelf.
Oh yeah, no, it was the last one on the shelf, and it was Solo, of course. So no, nobody wants to see him back in that role again, and he's not coming back. They're not going to do it. They don't want that. They have egg on their face in that franchise. What they tried to do with that Solo movie.
I remember I was excited that Dog Lover was going to be Lando Calrissian for about 5 minutes.
Because I thought he was funny in Community.
I went through the same thing with Mahershala Ali being Blade. I'm like, oh, that's awesome because he totally looked like Blade in Alita. And now it's like the more they announce about it, I'm like, nope, don't care anymore. Done.
Yep.
Already not interested anymore. I take back everything I say about him being Blade. If they're gonna make a PG-13 Blade, don't care.
That won't do that character justice.
And then they want to have Wesley Snipes be Dracula.
Yes,
don't care about that either.
I meant to ask you if you saw that. They were asking.
I would like to pretend that I didn't see it, Pete, but I did.
Yeah.
And it's just add that on the stockpile of my shitty fucking week. All right.
Well, how about I tell you what. Let's just segment into the next one. Robocop.
Oh. Why have you forsaken me?
Wrong theme.
Although this is one of those where the franchise I don't care about, but that original movie is easily in my top 5. I fucking love the original Robocop movie.
Yes.
So much. I have the soundtrack.
So what's the turmoil that's up with it?
Blomkamp has basically been fired from the reboot. He was going to reboot it. They were going to have what's his name return as the RoboCop, Peter Weller.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm opening up the link now, so I know what I'm talking about here.
He said it was a scheduling conflict.
Yeah, supposedly he has something else that he's working on. I'm thinking, what? Because you know how they say in Hollywood, Pete, that you're only as good as your last movie? Well, what the fuck is Neil Blomkamp's excuse then? Because his last 2 movies have been disasters.
It says Blomkamp tweeted he was off Robocop because he was shooting a new movie that required his time. Since MGM is looking to start the film in the immediate future, it had to move forward with a new director. Off Robocamp, Blomkamp wrote, I am shooting a new horror thriller and MGM can't wait. Need to shoot Robocop now. Excited to watch it in theaters with other fans. And
I hope he makes that movie really count because he'll have walked away from a pretty interesting opportunity there. I don't think that anybody needs to reboot RoboCop. It's been done once already, and it wasn't done all that great. I didn't hate the RoboCop reboot as much as you think that I would. I think it had some interesting concepts behind it, even though it was a PG-13 movie. But it was definitely a movie that did not need to be rebooted, because part of what makes RoboCop work so well is all of the satire that's in it. It's a dark comedy, man. It is. It's a black comedy, and it works. It still works. It's held up well over the years too. Like, a lot of that stuff is definitely a product of the 80s, but some of that political humor in there is amazing.
Yeah. Well, what do we know? Was there anything known about the script? Somebody just dropped.
Not me.
Tap and Die dropped. I mean, was there any rumors known about the script? Or
no, it's me.
All I knew is that it was basically RoboCop Returns. I don't know anything about the script other than that. It was definitely Blomkamp doing it. But Blomkamp was also going to do an Alien movie that never happened either, because Ridley Scott said, nope, my movie, I want to do it. And we got Alien Covenant.
Are you for?
Yeah, we got Alien Covenant. That's what happened. So,
oh dear Lord.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna go suffocate myself with this pillow now that the RoboCop movie's coming out. All right, here I go. I'm going now.
I didn't watch the reboot, the remake they did a couple years. Was it a couple years ago, Adam, that came out?
Yeah, and this, all the sequels that have come out are not very good. It's kind of like Jaws. There's Jaws, and there's Jaws 2, which is
was it the third one? RoboCop was flying around and shit.
Yeah,
I mean, that was
RoboCop 3 was actually the guy he took over. He's famous for picking up where people left off, and he was Darkman 2 and Darkman 3, that guy. And anybody other than Peter Weller playing RoboCop, no. But even Peter Weller in RoboCop 2 was completely underused, because that movie was just not very good.
No. It started out with, was it the two hookers beating the guy to death with a heel on the street? I mean, that was like how the movie started.
Yeah.
That was the opening sequence.
Yep.
I was like, what the fuck is this? I mean,
so
you can't.
I can't really be too upset about this, but now that knowing that they're just going to reboot it with somebody, I'm hoping it just gets sidelined completely and just doesn't come out then. Because I don't know how much faith I have in Blomkamp anyway, because I went and saw Elysium and I didn't think that movie was good, and everybody tells me Chappie is terrible, so I just didn't bother watching it. Those are his last two movies, and both of those movies were commercial and critical flops. So I don't know. Again, I'm treating this one kind of like the Die Hard. It's like, whatever. I live in times where I have to watch everything that I ever liked just either get rebooted or destroyed or both.
No, I'd be fine with this one getting buried and going the way of the New Mutants movie.
Yeah.
And just never, the New Mutants is going to be, it's going to be like the Roger Corman Fantastic Four.
You know where the New Mutants movie is being shown? It's being shown in Area 51.
the New Mutants in the Snyder Cut.
Yeah, they're it's like a double feature. Like,
hey, that's a
it's
sequel.
the Jimmy Hoffa Theater in Area 51.
The Jimmy Hoffa Theater now showing the New Mutants at 4 p.m. At 7 p.m., the Snyder Cut of Justice League.
All 6 hours of it.
And Area 51 has the kind of funding to like pay to. They said that it cost like $40 million in reshoots to finish the Snyder Cut or something like that.
Dinner with Elvis.
If they wanted to finish it, so like the Area 51's got that kind of jack, so they probably already got it finished down there. I mean, think about it. Who's going to refuse? If these actors they're not going to refuse that kind of contract. They're getting a government contract. They're not going to refuse that.
Make him an offer they can't refuse.
Bottomless pit.
Henry Cavill would shave his mustache for that. Ezra Miller would take his dress off for that.
Oh no.
Can we just agree that Ezra Miller does not ever need to play the Flash again, please? Please.
Nope.
Never, ever. He's just an odd little fellow, and he just is not. Hashtag not my Flash.
What else was he in before he was the Flash? What do I know him from?
I don't know him from anything before seeing him play the Flash.
Good.
He probably has some. I don't know.
Probably in a Game of Thrones episode.
Yeah.
May as well. All them other shit actors and actresses come from that fucking show.
Do you think Kit Harington will be in anything outside of that? Outside of Game of Thrones?
I don't know. I can't answer that because I didn't watch Game of Thrones and I'm never going to.
I didn't either. But, I mean, he just seems to be like the biggest name like everybody talks about because he was Jon Snow.
I just hope that Emilia Clarke stops being in movies that I care about. I want her to just go away and not come back ever.
I don't like her either. I didn't like her in Solo.
I'm hoping maybe she'll join a convent or get saved and become a born again Christian or something and go make movies with what's his name, Cameron from Growing Pains, Kirk Cameron, that guy. Yeah, go make movies with him. Go make Saving Christmas too. Okay.
What? I don't even know what that means.
Who? Kirk Cameron?
No, Saving Christmas.
Oh, you ever heard of Kirk Cameron Saving Christmas?
I know what it is.
Ever made. It's got a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Wait. This is jogging the old noggin over here.
I know what it is.
Oh God, why does that movie sound so familiar?
I did a review for it on my website. I watched it. It was gloriously bad, just like a.
Is it that Christian movie or something like that?
Yes.
I remember hearing about this.
Yeah, it's totally a Kirk Cameron vanity piece. Completely, just him jerking himself off about how much he loves Jesus, and
I bet I can make a better Jesus movie.
Yeah,
that was graphic.
I'm sorry.
Hey, let's we have a slight segue because it's going on all over the internet today for reasons I don't understand. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a PSA announcement. This is the part of the show where we give back to the community. If you are experiencing issues trying to control yourself with masturbating too many times a day, please get a box of Kellogg's cornflakes and it will help you.
What?
The perfect reaction.
You don't know what's
I have no idea where he's going with this. You got me.
You haven't seen the thing going around? There's an article
I've been
about
busy all day today.
I
I've
worked
been home.
today.
I haven't been on my computer at all.
Why Kellogg's cornflakes was invented.
I'm so glad I don't like them now, though.
Yes.
Wherever you're going with this.
Channel Dad.
I'm not going anywhere with it. This is a true story. What is his? It's Kellogg is his last name, but what is his? The Road to Wellville. Breakfast. John Harvey Kellogg. Look up John Harvey Kellogg in the Wellville Sanitarium in Battle Creek, the Battle Creek Sanitarium, rather, in Michigan.
Of course.
And
Go figure.
Look at his proclivities. Well, we also have C.W. Post, who invented Postrum, which was it really was never marketed as an alternative to coffee, but that's how people drank it. It's made from grains and stuff. But anyway, yeah, go look up John Harvey Kellogg. I will put it in the chat. I'll put the Wikipedia link in the public chat. See if this works. See if this works this way. If not, I'll do it as the fan cast in the regular chat. But that was one of the things that it was meant to help. Well, not just cornflakes. He felt that spicy foods led to decadence, and he was a very staunch Seventh-day Adventist and believed that sex was bad. Even so, he got married, never consummated his marriage, and he and his wife adopted their children, and he slept in a different bedroom from her their entire marriage. And so cornflakes was considered a very bland, boring breakfast food to help you with your proclivities.
I'll tell you one thing right now, that the shit does not work. So I don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
You know, it's like we're echoing again, LP. I never understood why people like cornflakes. The frosted flakes like sort of got, but they got soggy milk after like 4 seconds, so I never got it.
I hate cornflakes.
And they would have I remember what some NASCAR driver years ago, it was his car, and they were talking about how stays crunchy milk. I'm like, no, it doesn't. You pour it in the milk before you can put the cap back on the milk. It's soggy goo.
They're like tiny flaps of cardboard after they're in milk for like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
This is why you eat Fruit Loops instead.
Oh, dude, Fruit Loops are amazing. My kid gets those, so like late at night when I'm on that gimmick, yeah, I'm all about that mixing bowl full of Fruit Loops.
I'll see if I had to pick a cereal right now, it'd be Cocoa Pebbles. Yeah,
and then
Fruity Pebbles are good too.
Dude, the what is it? Reese's makes a chocolate and peanut butter puff cereal. You want to talk about heaven in a bowl?
Ugh.
Yeah,
Can't eat any of that shit. That's just crap.
I know Wheaties are my favorite.
There's sugar-coated garbage in a box.
Yeah, and it's delicious.
No, I'd rather have CW Post, Grape Nuts. I liked all those.
Grape Nuts.
Grape Nuts is like.
Are you 90?
Grape Nuts is like eating fucking cat litter. My grandpa used to eat that shit. He was like 80.
Yeah, my grandpa's 90. Well, actually, he's 91, and that's what he has every morning.
Well, there you go.
Lane, please tell me you don't have a bowl of tomato soup and a grilled cheese sandwich for lunch.
Man slowly enters his 90s.
And if I had grilled cheese, it'd be on rye.
A cup of warm tea.
Made with butter.
I eat grilled cheese and tomatoes too.
I'll tear up a patty melt, man.
Fucking patty melts are delicious.
Bomb, dude. Oh, hamburger on rye bread, toasted rye bread. That's amazing.
I'm wanting to go down the street to the bar and get a burger.
Grilled that is a hamburger on toasted sourdough.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
good too. That's good too. Yep. Let's not talk about food.
I know.
I'm starving.
I got the munchies, Tom.
Groovinator's on a diet, so none of that.
All right, the last topic I have is all the great and wonderful news about Bond 25.
I'm going back to suffocating myself with the pillow.
So we have hyphenated rumors or something. Someone want to take this away?
Phoebe Waller-Bridge is kind of coming out and saying the drama surrounding the production of Bond 25, which really shouldn't be that surprising considering how many problems previous productions have had. What did she say? She said, there's something about James Bond that always intrigued me in a similar way that Venier did, said Waller-Bridge, referencing Cormer's Killing Eve Assassin. I don't watch Killing
Is that
Eve.
that fucking show on BBC?
Yeah, my wife watches that goddamn show. I have no idea what it's about.
My
I've
sister
never
says it's hot garbage, and I trust her judgment.
Yeah, I've never watched it. So they live a fantasy, but it's a life none of us would ever want if we're honest. We don't want to go put a bullet in someone's head to sleep with people and have martinis. It's kind of a fantasy nightmare. I mean, that doesn't really sound that bad. I mean, if you're putting a bullet in somebody's head and getting away with it free of repercussions, and you're doing it in the name of your government, and you get to have sex and have martinis, I mean, is that really a bad life?
No, not really.
I mean, I'm down.
Oh shoot, they can listen. I'm free. Whatever government you need me to do it. Please be the U.S.
Let's see. Waller-Bridge said there were rumors that actress Lashana Lynch was going to take the mantle of 007 in this new movie. Phoebe Waller-Bridge didn't make a comment, but did say the following: the whole thing has potential to birth a new iconic characters all the time. She was involved in this script and wants to point out that Bond 25 isn't her movie, despite the fact that people are making a very big deal about a woman being involved with the writing of a James Bond movie. And they've all but said that it was going to be this Lashana Lynch character. So
it's because fans of James Bond are not as dumb as they would like us to believe that they are.
Yeah.
And they can smell this shit a mile away before it starts.
Yep.
It's like,
they know
what they're going to do. It's going to be a send-off. It's Daniel Craig's last movie. He's going to pave the way for this other one to come in, because why would you bring in Phoebe hyphen to do script doctoring if for any other reason than to do that?
And Craig is already going to be. He's going to take his place as the most forgettable Bond. He's
He
going to
already
be
is the most forgettable Bond.
He is. He is. I mean,
I
he's
just
like,
never warmed up to him, and he wasn't fun. He's not memorable. I can't even pick. I think the best movie that he was in was probably Skyfall, and that's because that movie had an incredible villain. But other than that,
yeah, he does. He doesn't have the charisma of a Moore or a Connery or even a Brosnan. I mean, he does not even a Timothy Dalton to me.
not even a Lazenby, brother.
No, Lazenby would have been a much better Bond in multiple movies now looking back compared to Daniel Craig, I think. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But if
I agree, David. Jane Bond coming to theater near you.
I mean, if that's the way it's going to end.
Honestly, I'd be excited to have Idris Elba played as James Bond, just not Jane Bond. All right, the character is not Jane Bond; it's James Bond for a reason. It was created to be a male fantasy novels.
Well, remember, Adam, you misogynist. This is about diversity and inclusion.
No, it's not. This was not about you. You hijacked this to make it about you and not what it was. That's what happened.
007 can be a woman. It's not James Bond. It's just 007. It's just a number, you misogynist man, baby.
All right, well, I'm fucking taking over Cosmopolitan then. We're taking this shit over.
No, you can't have that either.
Let's to the ground.
We're gonna turn into a geek magazine then. We're gonna take Cosmopolitan and turn into a geek magazine.
And we'll give out better romantic advice.
On tonight's round of SJW.
Oh my God, romantic advice from LMP.
Yes.
Just say that slowly to yourself. All right. Try not to shake while you're doing it.
All right, listen, nerds. I'm gonna give you some romantic advice right now.
Oh,
All right,
God.
we'll do this, and then when he's done, we'll get on to the games.
Cool.
It'll be 10 o'clock.
All right, I'm gonna tell you this right now, and I'm gonna tell you this and make it very, very, very clear. The box is not the cardboard thing that comes to you from Amazon. Box stands for something else. Okay, so feel free to eat some box. Hard.
There you go. Free advice from LMP.
Well then.
On that note, Monica, since you don't like clothing, let's play a game.
Yay, games. Fuck all the news this week. Just fuck all of it.
God, I could play a game. No, I'm serious. Just throw the game out there. I was hoping that people would make a remark about last week. God, my luck.
Would you like to play a game, LMP?
Oh, God.
I was laughing at him laughing.
Hello, Newman.
Oh, God, the shit hurts. Yo,
Hello.
you know that for like...
Hello, Kramer. I'm going to torture you both slowly now. You're going to sit here and have sparklers shoved under your fingernails, and we're going to shoot you with silly string. There's one key to unlock the cuff. It's in Newman's stomach. He ate it because it was in a Twinkie. He was weak and stupid like Fredo.
Oh, God, no more,
okay,
please.
I'm done.
I don't get it.
Yeah, I know.
Come on, Monica, get going before he starts again.
Okay. Oh, is he gone? Oh, Pete bailed. Okay. So I'm going to have to explain this again when he gets back on. But this is kind of like the bad movie plot. Explain a bad movie plot. Whatever. But it's so it's
the movie plot badly.
Yeah, this is after fans have watched the movie, their description of the storyline. So, and I've never seen any of these, so I can't tell you if it's right or not. So good luck. Did you hear that, Pete?
No.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
We're just got to guess the movie from whatever she says. That's all.
Okay.
Okay. So the first one.
And
I only have 10
we'll go
too.
around the room. So we'll just
right.
we'll do whatever.
Okay. The first one. Basically, you can jump into other people's dreams to find a secret or idea and steal it all at the same time. For some
Inception.
reason, you are being tracked down by your late wife.
Inception.
Yeah. Yeah. Do we want? Yeah. How do we want to do this? Each get a question, or do we want to have just give answers? I forget it. Inception.
I only have 10, so
Oh.
yeah, it was Inception. Okay.
Did he wake up or did he not?
He did not.
I dreamt about it, but I'm not going to tell you.
I've never seen it, so none of this is funny.
It's overrated.
It wasn't that good.
It's not the Dark Knight, put it that way.
No.
Okay, number 2. Imagine you have a special cancer which you get genetically, and you have to keep on getting chemo. Also, your best friend is Seth Rogen.
The Last Jedi.
What is Deadpool?
Best friend is Seth Rogen.
Funny people.
I don't know this one.
Whoever make a porno.
It's 50-50.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
I've never heard of that one.
I didn't either. I looked it up. It's an actual movie.
Is it?
One
Yeah.
that we didn't see. It's basically Adjective, the movie.
Damn it. Damn it with the adjectives.
I almost picked that game. I was like, no, I'm not going to.
Nope.
I'll see you guys next week.
Okay. Number 3. Awesome monster movie that you will laugh with the awkward camera guy and cower in fear of 9 monsters, which seems like one.
Wow.
Keeping
It's
up
a
with the
good one.
Keeping up with the Kardashians.
No, it's a movie, not a TV series.
Oh.
Monica, can you read that one more time?
Awesome monster movie that you will laugh with the awkward camera guy and cower in fear of 9 monsters, which seems like one.
Okay, Cloverfield.
Yeah, I was trying to remember. I was like, that's that J.J. Abrams movie.
shit.
Yeah,
Yep.
and that's what you do. You follow the. It's supposed to look like it's handheld, and a lot of it is.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, because the cameraman is joking through the whole thing.
Yep.
That was the tip off there for me.
Pete, can you make any more noise right now?
Oh, I'm sure he
What?
can.
What?
Don't challenge me.
Just sit still, buddy. Sit still.
Sit on your hands.
Okay, number
That's
4.
not how the song goes. Go ahead. Tell me that you love me.
Sit in my face and tell me
I wasn't
that you
gonna
love
sing
me.
that part.
I can feel my face when I'm going.
You can't get me started on Monty Python and expect me not to pick up and run with it. That's just not fair.
Go
Okay,
ahead.
number 4. Basically, these high school kids gain powers to move stuff with their mind. They move it to its limit with flying, crushing cars, and scaring people with teddy bears.
Chronicle.
Correct.
Fuck. Is that Josh Trank movie?
Yep.
I have no idea. I've never seen
It's a
these.
good movie.
He's the weirdo that did the Fantastic Four abortion.
He did part
Wait
of
a second. Isn't that where Michael B. Jordan? Wasn't that with Michael B. Jordan also?
He wasn't in Chronicle. He was in the Fantastic.
Fantastic
he was
Four.
in Fan Four Stick. Yeah.
Who the hell was in Chronicle? Because I forgot.
Some guy.
Your sister.
Some guy and some other guys. Yeah.
LMP sister was in it? Is that what you
It's,
said?
it's okay. It's all right. It's dated.
Oh dear God!
Andy Haynes.
Wait, he was in a movie. She's holding out on us.
I remember watching this trailer, but I didn't watch. This was like a found footage type thing too. Right?
Yeah, it was that guy that was in Valerian, I think. he
Michael
was
B.
in it.
Jordan. Yeah, Michael Kelly, Ashley Henshaw, Anna Wood. Oh, she played Monica. So there you go, Monica. All right, what's the next one?
Okay. Sweet and funny movie about 2 of the worst things that can happen to a girl on her 16th birthday.
Carrie.
Last House on the Left.
Sweet and funny movie. What? Say it again. Say it again.
A sweet and funny movie about 2 of the worst things that can happen to a girl on her 16th birthday.
16 Candles.
That's probably right. Yeah.
Good job. Yes.
Yeah. Woo.
Oh, where did he go? Really?
Never
I'll
mind.
be back.
He'll be fine.
Oh, did Pete drop again?
Yeah.
He needs a better wireless router.
He needs a Ethernet cable.
Yeah, we've been telling him that for how long now?
Yeah, I think I should just email him one or send him one.
I can send
Email
him
one.
16 of them. Hold on, it's back.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Okay. Come on, George. Sorry, hold on. Dog's getting situated. Okay. Number 6. Returning war hero, ready to begin a new life with his fiancée, takes a journey further and further down into the underworld, where he loses his principles in exchange for protecting his family.
Good grief, that's a long-winded one.
Yeah, I
Donnie-
could barely read my handwriting.
Donnie Brasco. Wait. The Godfather.
Yeah, that's correct. It's the
That's the
Godfather.
Godfather.
That is
Thank
the
you for not
Godfather.
making me read that one again.
Yeah,
Good job, Pete.
Thank
pretty
you.
Good.
Okay, Georgia, stop. Okay.
You started the right direction with Donnie Brasco. You just
Yep. I was just thinking out
Yeah,
loud.
you were thinking Mafia right away, so
Yep.
you were on the right track. Yeah.
All right. Number 7. A reporter assigned to decipher a newspaper. I can't read my handwriting. A newspaper magnate's dying words.
Oh, that's Citizen Kane.
Yeah.
Rosebud. So that's what
Rosebud.
Of course, you would know, late.
I've never seen that movie.
It's a good movie. I love it.
Was it really a book
that's,
first?
That's one that's not overrated. I think that movie really is freaking great.
I watched it. I watched
I
it with
don't
my
think it's a
mom
book.
when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I
Late
heard it
watched
was
the
a
opening
book.
night.
Oh, shut up. I just said I've never seen it.
He
Joke
went on a
on you.
date.
You know, listen.
You're no listen here.
He went on a date.
That's back when Leip and Gal Gadot were together in a different
Then you could
timeline.
Go down to the Nickelodeon and buy a moon pie for a nickel.
Oh, God, don't mention
Pie?
Nickelodeon.
You could buy those for a nickel.
Yeah, LMP, according to David, we need to play Name That Hentai with you next.
Oh.
Say that again. Say that again.
Is it LMP's game is Name That Hentai?
Oh
Oh,
no.
sweet Jesus. You know something? Okay, so before we continue, David.
Hashtag hentai has a story.
I cannot name them, even if I could tell you. Oh yeah, I remember watching that scene, but I can't name them for you.
Just keep your pants on. Or eat cornflakes.
Oh, no.
Oh, well,
Nice
just
call
that I
back.
will give out romantic advice throughout the remainder of this episode.
We appreciate that.
Anyway.
All right. Number 8. The lives of 2 mob hitmen, a lover, a gangster, and his wife, a pair of diner bandits, intertwine in 4 faces of violence and redemption.
Pulp Fiction.
Yay.
Yep.
I'm sorry, that took me a while.
Yeah.
I fucking love that movie.
You know what's
Dead
embarrassing?
not to. You gotta be dead not to like that.
Yeah.
Me and my mom were watching that movie once, and unfortunately, we caught the scene with the gimp.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought everybody kept a sexually depraved lunatic in a box in their basement.
You didn't?
Listen, I didn't even see what happened after, all right?
I thought everybody had one of those.
You want to talk about subversion of expectations? I didn't see
Yeah.
that one coming.
Hey, what happened to Zed? Zed's dead, baby. Zed's dead.
Okay. Number 9. This one's really long, too. A menace emerges from his mysterious past. He wreaks havoc and chaos on the people of the city. The hero must accept one of the greatest physiological and physical tests of his ability to fight injustice.
Physiological.
What is Michael Jackson's This Is It?
Get out.
I was waiting for that one to come up.
Get out. Man of Steel.
I don't know this one. It's
You're on the right track.
Batman vs Superman.
No.
God damn it.
Say, can you read it again?
yeah, do it one more
I'll listen
time,
this time.
if you could, Monica.
Please,
Okay.
In your teacher voice.
I know. I don't have one of those.
I know. That's why you're not a teacher.
A menace emerges from his mysterious past. He wreaks havoc and chaos on the people of the city. The hero must accept one of the greatest psychological and physical tests of his ability to fight injustice.
That's just Superman. That's just the
The Dark Knight.
There you go.
I
Pete.
don't know how we didn't get that.
Sorry. What?
I didn't make it up. I'm just writing them down.
No, I'm saying I don't know how we couldn't like have pieced that faster. Like,
Oh. Because it's a lot for me to say.
Well, I had to think of it because there's like 18 different superhero
Yeah.
movies out there that it could go in that direction. But yeah,
I mean, it just sounds like Batman, and it's like, damn, why did I go with Michael Jackson?
the tip off was the psychological part.
I'll be surprised if one day the answer is that movie, and I'm not the one to get it right.
Michael Jackson's Thriller.
Moonwalker was it Moonwalker? That movie was awesome too.
Well, until I see one better, that's still my favorite Batman movie.
What, The Dark Knight?
Yes, sir.
It's a good flick.
Yeah.
Is that the one with the guy with the gas?
What?
Well,
I
there's
think
one of
they're
the
all
Batman movies. I thought it was one of the Nolan movies where the bad guy has the gas that makes you see.
That's
worst nightmare.
you're thinking of Batman Begins. The Dark
Yeah.
Knight is the one with Heath Ledger as the Joker.
Okay, all right.
It's way better.
And the Dark Knight Rises has the second best Bane incarnation in cinema, next to Jeep Swenson's,
What a beautiful boy.
by Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy was way better as Venom than he was as Bane.
Yes.
Way better.
I haven't seen
First time I
that.
watched it.
Okay, last one.
Oh, we still have one more. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's number 10. Dude joins forces with a cocky pilot, a furry, and walking tech to save the planet.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
And a furry. LMP didn't get that one. What the fuck, LMP? What are you doing over there, kid?
Well,
and
he
a
heard
furry in it.
Furry, and he was in a completely different world.
Hold on, I'm trying to figure this one out.
He's watching hentai. He's watching hentai. He didn't hear
He's trying
furry.
to speed watch his hentai.
Signals got crossed. Furries and hentais and
Oh, God. Don't you ever mix the two together? I will probably have a live Spurg moment on this broadcast.
furry hentais. Are you hentai furry?
Someone send him some cornflakes.
Yeah. Sounds like he needs Jesus, right, Monica?
Yeah, you do.
What are you talking about? Go every Sunday.
You need Jesus.
You think I have to go to church? I have to go pray away the hentai.
Take Pete with you.
You
I
need a
can't-
little bitty Jesus down in your heart.
And you know
down
the fun.
in your heart. Down in your heart.
And then we can go get drunk after.
I perform weddings too, so I'm just saying, if you know anybody wants to get married, just throw my name out there. I'll travel.
Well,
I'm
I'm
good.
considering getting the cardboard cutout of my favorite wife, but I just can't figure out which one.
All right. I
Maybe
think
a
we've
Leo.
digressed enough. Let's close the show. It's been almost 2 hours.
All right.
I think we've got all of our topics covered. And,
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't know who won. I think it was the Groovinator. And apparently someone's coming to the front door. My son must be home from his friend's birthday. All right. So, anyways, with this dull note, this has been episode 93 coming to you live and free of charge, at least this week. And
Next week we're charging.
if you don't like the content, file to get your money back.
You're right.
Get what you pay for. Yeah. Well, anyway, and so we're done, I guess. So let's go backwards. Who wants to close it out? Who wants to be the last one? And then I'll just go from there. We'll let Pete be last. So anyway, say goodnight, Monica.
Bye, friends.
And LMP, you weren't here for the hello, so.
Okay, well, here's some romantic ladies. Do not try to repair a relationship if you tell the guy you're seeing another man and he says, I am too.
Nice.
This is seriously like my life.
Yeah.
What?
It'd be
I'm
funny if
kidding.
it's the same man.
They could just let's
Did we
get
just make another
together.
movie? We just made a movie.
I think
Yeah,
we
there you go. Put on the list.
there you go.
Monica made a movie.
Mormons of the future.
What are we gonna call it?
Mormons in space.
Mormons in space.
There you
I
go.
like it.
All right, Pete. Do your Groovinator.
All right. Hey, everybody, check me over at www.raidersoflostflix.com. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. There's going to be a watch party next Saturday for Miami Connection. Don't forget to check that out.
Yes. And thanks, everybody. You know what I didn't do? I forgot before we go. Mouni Roy, I guess, is how you say her name. I don't know. Mouni Roy, Roy. Is the Hall of Fame for this week, and she'll be in the thumbnail. And maybe next week I'll do the thumbnail before the show and have it as we start. She's an Indian film and television actress. She's 5'3" and 33 years old, for those keeping score. Those of you in real life.
Is she dot or feather?
Oh
Just
my
curious.
God. I can tell you live in the South.
Yes.
She is
Way off the rails.
as they would say in India, she's a dot.
Okay.
So
I'm feather, so I just was curious.
she is from, where is she from? I don't know. She's best known for playing Krishna Tulsi in Kunuk. I can't even say all these words. Koinki Sats. I don't know.
Welcome to my world.
She's from Delhi. She's from, well, no, she went to the University of Delhi. So anyway, I don't know. But anyway, Pete, close us out and let's go home.
He bailed.
He bailed? No, he didn't.
Close out for him.
There we go.
I'm here.
That McDonald's Wi-Fi is failing you, hombre.
Oh God, he died again. You know
I
what?
did not kick him out. That was so funny. Oh, wait,
It's bullshit. I did
back again.
not.
I'm back as I'm preparing to get my sword out and stab my computer. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Etep, a place to be reviews. Thank you for joining us on the Fan Cast. We just hit 300 likes on the Facebook page. Monica is giving away a custom piece of art to winner Salvador. Hail Salvador of the Fandom Menace and guest of the program. And check us out over there. And I am opening up a Facebook group for the Place to Be Reviews tomorrow, doing that tomorrow morning. And yeah, stay tuned for some more videos. Check us out, the Place to Be Reviews on Facebook, and Etep is the Place to Be Reviews on YouTube. Back to you, Channel Dab. Brian Lape, Cock Muffin.
There, see, I can remove him from stream.
He managed to get through that without bailing out again.
There. That's why I was talking so damn fast. I was like, I got to get through this shit.
I love that he blames his computer when we all know it's because he does not have a cable.
It's that McDonald's Wi-Fi. I'm telling you.
Yeah. He said, I'm going to stab my
Wi-Fi than you.
Well, if he had a better router, I can tell you right now, if I was on Wi-Fi on my router, it would not drop. So, but
I'm on Wi-Fi.
My router was hundreds of dollars, not tens of dollars. All right.
Yeah, my router's cheap.
This has been episode 93. Thank you so much, David, for staying the whole time. I think he was the only one that we had a couple of people come and go. Thanks for everybody that was here, and be sure to follow us on Twitter as the Fan Cast and share out the link for the show. And I keep trying to get like Doomcock or Cecil or even I'll take Jesse and Anna. I've met them, but I've never done anything with them on YouTube. We talked about doing stuff in Chicago. We never did, but maybe one of these days we'll have 1,000 subscribers and we can get somebody. All right. To come by, stop by and say howdy. Thanks so much. And we'll see you next week for 94 because we can count one at a time. Bye.
Good night, everybody.
I keep forgetting I have to click twice.